Hello and welcome or welcome back to the Unbound Soul Tarot. I'm so happy that you have found your way to me and I hope that you are excited for this reading. So today we are going to keep it super high vibe. We are looking at the abundance that is going to be coming into your life. We're going to see how it is going to manifest, when you can potentially expect to see it arrive in your life, and all of that good stuff. So if you are excited about that, then stay tuned. Now, let's take a look at the piles that you get to choose from. I am especially thrilled with how the pairings came out today. It's almost like these cards and the decks were meant to be, but this was beautiful happenstance. So I am just so thrilled, and I think it's the best pairing I've ever had on my channel. So anyway, let's take a closer look. Pile number 1 is represented by this card and the Oriens Animal Tarot. Pile number 2 is represented by this card and the Tarot Landscapes. And pile number 3 is represented by this card and the Cosmic Cycles Tarot. If you have already chosen your pile, then you can go into the description box down below, click on the timestamp that you need, or timestamps if you want to watch more than one pile, and jump straight to your reading. But if you need a couple of pointers on how you should best go about choosing the right pile for you, then what I would recommend is first getting yourself to a quiet place so that you could really tune into your body, listen to your senses, get really in touch with yourself, so that when you look at the piles, you can actually hear or see or sense and feel what your body is pointing you towards. You can also close your eyes for a few seconds, do some breathing exercises, really get yourself nice and calm and relaxed. And when you feel that you are truly mindful and present in this moment, you can open your eyes and take a look at the piles more closely. See what your eye is drawn to, see what you are being pulled towards. Maybe you feel a gut sensation, maybe you hear something in your head, maybe there is a specific significance of a number regarding the piles. Trust your intuition and follow it, but as I also always say, please don't forget to use your discernment as you are listening to these general messages. And having said all of that, let's jump into it. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 1. My name is Helen and I am so thankful that you have chosen to spend your time with me and hang out. Now, let's get straight to the cards. So you chose this card as well as the Oriens Animal Tarot. We are going to get to those in just a bit. We also have some pre-prepared oracle cards, so yeah, these are back. If you saw my previous video, then yeah, the oracle card portion was temporarily gone, but it's back today. So again, we are going to take a look at those cards in a bit as well, because first, as is the norm or the tradition, I want to feel my way through this card intuitively and see what I am picking up on it. So pile number 1, I'm looking at this card and this is giving me the feeling of having recently woken up to something. So I feel like you have recently discovered something or realized something. It almost feels like a light bulb has kind of gone off for you. And more specifically, I feel that it's tied to something that you can do or something regarding your own skills, your own abilities. Maybe you had to prove yourself to someone. Maybe you had to step out of your comfort zone. Maybe you just pushed yourself to go after some sort of dream or some sort of wish, even if it wasn't this like great big thing. It might have been something small, something little, just to just to, again, push yourself out of your comfort zone, to dip your toes in the water so that you could get a little bit of a taste and see how you do. And I feel like it has almost had this accumulative effect, or this snowball effect. And now it's like you are realizing how much more you can actually do, how much more you can actually control, what you can influence with your own personal willpower. And I feel like it's almost like all of this space has suddenly opened up to you. You see all of these bright shining stars as possibilities, whereas previously maybe it was just all dark, you know, kind of metaphorically speaking. And I feel like it's exciting, and you are like planning on, I don't think that you are necessarily doing many of these little projects just yet, or many of these next steps, but I feel like you are pondering them. You are open to the idea that you can do more, you can try more, you can have more, you can achieve more, you can be more. It's very heavily, for some reason, tying me to some form of self-image or self-perception, and even this like visual for what your life could be in the future, especially if there are some aspects that you haven't been happy with for a long time, but that you haven't really known how to change or how to snap out of this sedated state almost. But yeah, it feels like you have discovered a hope of some kind, or an inspiration of some kind. And I feel like it all started from something small, as I already said. So, you know, maybe you always thought that you couldn't draw, like that you always thought that you weren't really creative, but maybe you decided to doodle something, or maybe you had to use your creativity to come up with a logo, or maybe you had to design something, some sort of illustration for an invitation. You know, I'm just giving you these like little examples, but the point is that I feel like you discovered something about yourself that you thought for sure that you couldn't do, or that wasn't for you. Maybe it wasn't drawing, maybe it was cooking, maybe it was some sort of sport or exercise regime. Maybe it was some sort of other healthy habit that you thought you could never adopt. But again, I feel like you are surprising yourself, pile number one. And yeah, that's really what I am feeling from this card intuitively. But don't you worry if all of this didn't really sound like 100% resonating with you, because we are now going to take a look at the oracle cards. And based on these messages, it should be a lot easier for you to recognize whether this is your pile or not, because these cards are going to describe how you yourself would describe your current circumstances. So let's see what we get. We have feed your artist. Okay, it's kind of funny that the first example that came to me was about drawing and creativity. But, you know, there are all sorts of other type of artists as well. So anyway, don't mind me. We also have memory. We have an intuitive card. We have renewal. And fall in love with your own story. Okay, let me move things around here a bit. So pile number one, sometimes from these cards, not that much new information comes out, I'm afraid. Sometimes it's just very much confirming the energy that is coming through from, or that was coming through from, the intuitive part. And I feel like that's the case here today. So if you didn't resonate with the first part at all, then most likely this isn't your pile, and you can just go ahead and see if maybe some other pile talks to you more. But let's get to the cards. So we have the first card here, which is Feed Your Artist. I truly feel that this is speaking to the way in which you are training your creativity, how you are literally feeding it and generating more of it, like regardless of what the actual area of interest is for you, or where you are discovering these new skills that you didn't know you had or that were simply dormant in you. I feel like you are really sort of digging into it. You're really giving it so much of your attention and kind of going in depth by maybe researching that specific area. Maybe you are looking at some tutorials. Maybe you are seeing what the experts are doing. Maybe you are signing yourself up for some courses or trying to, you know, get some more like professional guidance as well, or professional assistance, so that you could grow and develop even quicker, or so that you could discover what else is possible. But maybe it's simply, you know, doing things that feed your creativity. Maybe you are listening more to inspiring like musicians, artists in that sense. Maybe you are surrounding yourself more with beauty or some sort of design elements to get your own like juices flowing, so to say. It just feels like you are trying to inspire yourself. Maybe you are reading more as well. So it feels like you are putting more effort into it to actually bring more of that energy into your everyday life as well, and really be surrounded by it, really be enveloped in it. Now, I'm looking at this memory card, and this truly makes me feel that a major confirmation is coming through regarding the message of breaking down some sort of false belief, because I feel like whatever this thing is that you have discovered about yourself, it's something that you used to believe you couldn't do, and it may be tied to a very specific memory from your past. Maybe someone said something similar to you. Maybe you gave something a try once or a couple of times and it didn't really turn out the way that you wanted, or maybe you had some difficulty, or maybe there was some ridicule or something like that that made you feel ashamed, or that made you feel bad about yourself, and so you just quit. You didn't really go any further with it. But it definitely feels like there was something in the past that kind of put you off this thing. And so that may be the reason why you had such a strong belief that it wouldn't work, or that you couldn't do it, or this thing wasn't for you. And I feel like it's also the reason why you didn't try again sooner, or why you didn't give it a chance sooner. Yeah, I feel there is a very powerful memory tied to this thing. But now I love this center card, because this to me feels full of determination. I have a sense that you are, again, it's like you are collecting these little vials of inspiration, these little things in which you can kind of prove to yourself that you can and you will. And it's all about like building yourself up and giving yourself this boost of confidence. And yeah, I just feel like you are so determined to rewire that system in your brain, so to say. And as you are like getting certain wheels in motion in yourself and seeing how you can actually do something and how you can prove yourself and others wrong, it almost feels like this splash of fuel, you know, like it's adding to this burning fire within you, saying that what else am I capable of? Like, if I can do this, what else can I do that I thought that I wasn't capable of, you know? So it's just full of this curiosity and determination. And I really love it. We also have this renewal card. And again, it's just another sort of confirmation for me that you are actually bringing something about that you most likely have already tried before, or that you have at least considered before. But it's like you are waking up to this, again, this whole new world, this whole new life, this whole new energy. And I love that we're actually seeing the seasons here, because as I said, I felt this energy of being sedated, and maybe there was something that was kind of asleep within you, or like it was was just dormant, and now it has definitely been woken up. So you are literally renewing. And we also have fall in love with your own story. You are literally starting to appreciate your life and who you are, and everything that you have yet to experience and discover. I feel like there is so much that you are sort of starting to feel excited about again, and just seeing yourself in a whole new light. So pile number 1, this is amazing. And if this is you, then I'm already so excited for you because this feels so full of life and full of energy and enthusiasm and excitement and curiosity, as I said. So it's really, really beautiful energy. But if you resonated with this, then definitely stay tuned, because now we are getting to the main part of the reading, and we are going to take a look at what kind of abundance is going to be coming into your life, because there are several types of abundance. There are so many different types of abundance. So we're not necessarily talking about money abundance, So I just wanted to put that out there as well. But let's see what kind is about to come in for you. Okay. Wow. We have the Ace of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Moon as the underlying energy. Okay, pile number 1. I feel like you are going to have a massive breakthrough, kind of a realization sort of moment, an aha moment. And there is going to be so much clarity for you when it comes to this one more specific, more focused area in which you are truly talented and in which you should hone your skills even more, so that you could maybe even turn it into something that is financially lucrative. Because the Eight of Pentacles, as much as it is about, again, honing your skills, getting even better, mastering your craft, perfecting your sort of natural given talent, so to say, it's also about working to secure your future. So it's definitely giving the vibe of potentially becoming something that you can support yourself with, or something that is just like an extra source of income for you. Of course, it's up to you whether you want to do that or not, or whether you want to keep it strictly as like a passion project or as a hobby. But I definitely feel that the opportunity or the potential is there. And I just love that the Ace of Swords is giving me such a massive sort of, energy boost, if I can say it that way. Because it feels like it may be confirmation that comes from someone else. It may be something that someone says and it just rings so true to you, or it strikes a chord. But of course, this can also be something that you kind of realize yourself, or that you get this moment of illumination sort of seemingly out of nowhere. And the reason why I say that is because of this Moon card energy that is the underlying energy, which is basically saying that it's kind of going to come out of left field. It's something that you might not be able to see, because the Moon is all about sort of hidden energy. But I also feel that it's talking about all of the things that you have yet to discover about where your talent can go, or where this direction that you seem to be finding more of a focus in, where it can lead you. Like, there is something about having this whole path that is going to be unveiled, or that is going to be becoming apparent to you as you sort of go down this more focused, more narrowed, more niche direction. And yeah, it seems like it's truly inspiring stuff. But pile number 1, let's get a more detailed look. Hopefully, let's see how this abundance is manifesting in your life more specifically. Okay, So we have the Seven of Swords in reverse, the Four of Wands, and the Justice card in reverse as the underlying energy. Okay, so pile number one. The Seven of Swords coming out in reverse is an interesting energy because it's making me feel that if this thing is something that you did actually try at one point in the past, but that you decided to give up on because of someone's words or because of you yourself getting discouraged, then it may become apparent or be revealed somehow why it didn't work out the first time, or what went wrong the first time, or maybe even what the actual motivation was behind someone's words, if it was because of what someone said to you. But more broadly, this just feels like certain layers getting revealed or peeled back and things starting to surface. Something that, again, was previously dormant or hidden is kind of just becoming more and more apparent. Now, we also have this Four of Wands, and this to me feels very heavily like community. So you may start seeing this abundance more clearly in the form of certain people that may start noticing what it is that you are doing, or you may even find a group or a network or something like that yourself, and you may become a part of these like-minded people, and maybe you get more encouragement from there as well, or you find this sense of belonging. But it could also be that you find further encouragement, just this affirmation that you are doing the right thing or that you are moving in the right direction. Because in either case, the Four of Wands feels really supportive. And yeah, just unveiling your gifts, unveiling these skills and these interests is something that I feel is going to lead you to your community, your tribe, the people that you truly vibe with, and the people that you can brainstorm with and just get really excited about the opportunities and about the growth and the journey. And so with the underlying energy being Justice in reverse, I honestly just feel that this is hinting at a bit of an imbalance where the scales are definitely tipping very strongly to one specific side or towards one specific area. So yeah, it seems to just hint that there may be a lot of your focus, a lot of your attention that is being pulled in this one specific area. So yeah, that will also most likely give you the indication that you are sort of doing what you are meant to be doing, or that you should kind of go ahead and pursue that. But pile number one, let's take a look at the last question as well. How can you either make room for this abundance in your life or welcome it more easily? Oh, okay. So, oh, that's so sweet. We have Strength, the Six of Cups, and the Queen of Wands is the underlying energy. I feel like the way that you can make room for this abundance to come into your life is by more boldly being willing to let this side of you shine. We have this Strength card, and this is all about showing off yourself and digging deep into yourself to find the courage and the resilience to overcome any fears or doubts or hesitations. Or even if, the famous saying, even if you're afraid, do it anyway. That's the sort of energy that this Strength card is talking about. So yeah, just boldly daring to be open and upfront about this side of you that maybe you thought that you had to hide, or that you didn't really dare discover yourself, or that you didn't dare delve into. Now we have the Six of Cups, which is interesting because this card is very strongly tied to past energies and memories as well. So with these two cards together, I feel like Spirit is urging you to stay strong and face that memory. Even though the Six of Cups is actually a really sweet sort of energy normally, I feel like in this case it's very strongly hinting at the memory that kind of started it all, or that has this huge impact on you, maybe even to this day. It may still affect you, or again, I don't know why I keep feeling that there was something that someone said to you, or how someone reacted to this thing that really like put you off, that really made you like backtrack and leave this thing where it is. So yeah, there is this whole notion of like rewriting that memory, or standing up to that memory, facing it, overcoming it, and being bold enough to, again, like kind of rewrite your own story. Because the underlying energy is the Queen of Wands, this really, really sweet and adorable Queen of Wands. And it's all about, again, bravery, sass, confidence, shining brightly, and allowing people to see your authenticity and being unapologetic about it, not feeling any sort of shame or any sort of shyness about it, just being true to you. And the Queen of Wands, the really interesting thing about it is that it tends to act as a magnet. It's something that draws people in. It's something that inspires people. So yeah, having this courage, having this boldness, this belief in yourself, and showing yourself off is the best way that you can invite this abundance, this clarity, this like aha breakthrough moment that can lead to so many new doors opening. That's really the way to go about it. Now, pile number one. We are getting closer to the end, I promise, but we are going to also do a very fun little part of this reading. Namely, we are going to take a look at the time frame. When is this abundance likely to actually arrive in your life? Now, I always have to give a little disclaimer whenever we are looking into timing energies, because timing is such a fickle thing, and it is very, very easy to get it wrong. So please don't get too attached to whatever comes through from these cards. This is just for fun, to give us a ballpark estimation, and it may be true for some of you, but it may not be true at all. So, you know, again, just keep that in mind, okay? But let's see, when is this abundance likely to come in for you? Okay. Wow. So we have, at the bottom of the deck, by the way, we have Cancer time, which says June 22nd to July 22nd. Nurture your interests. Ooh, I love this keyword for you. And yeah, the Cancer season time frame, depending on when you are watching this reading, it may either be very soon or it may take a while. But there are also the keywords of sensitive, cycles, and security. And yeah, I absolutely love this because, again, this whole symbolism of Cancer, the crab, and sort of being in your shell and being somewhat cautious about how you approach this whole thing and how much you really reveal to people, because clearly there is some sort of vulnerability that is tied into this. There is a lot of feeling and there is something very personal about this. So I completely understand why you want to take your time. But yeah, nurture your interests. I really love that keyword. Okay, but the card that you got is a long time. Think long term as you are building something to last. Gradual unfolding future. Okay, so see, this card is not saying that this abundance is going to take a very long time, but it's basically just saying that this thing that you are working towards is going to be something long term. And so it's best to take your steps carefully, to not rush anything, and to just have fun on the journey, see where it leads you, see what else you can find out, what other doors can open up for you. So yeah, gradual unfolding and future. I really, really love this. Again, it feels like this breakthrough moment is just like, it's just the beginning. It's one of the bigger catalysts. And as you, again, right, nurture your interests, it feels like things are going to become much more clear. And again, it may actually take some time. There may be certain cycles. There may be times when you are more motivated, where you are more excited to go and keep pushing forward. And there may be times where you want to sort of withdraw and work on things behind closed doors or on your own, or brush up some more skills or learn something extra. So yeah, it could be this whole process, this whole thing. But anyway, again, for some of you, this breakthrough moment may actually happen around summertime, June, July. So yeah, it's exciting stuff. And pile number 1, we are going to close the reading out with some last oracle card messages, or we'll see what comes through or how many we get. But this last part is going to be about the area of focus that Spirit wants you to home in on. So I hope that you are not sick of seeing these cards, because these are my absolute favorites. And yeah, let's see what sort of focus area we can get for you from Spirit. Ooh, okay. Now, before we read the actual card, I just want to show you the underlying energy is karma, past life, and cycles. So again, we are getting another keyword of cycles. And so clearly there is something about revisiting something, coming back to something, doing things differently the other way around. And maybe even this past life and karma message. It's kind of interesting that this whole thing may be something that you actually also have past life ties to, if that's something that you believe in, of course. If you don't, then that's fine too. But the card that you actually got is prayer. What do you need to communicate to the universe? What are you inspired to put into words and expression right now? What are your hopes, dreams, and wishes? Yeah, so I love this. So what Spirit is saying that you should focus on is thinking about the thing that you want to call into being. What is it that you would actually pray to bring about? Or, if you don't want to use this more religious term, then simply, what you would want to manifest, what you would want to call into being. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful energy, pile number 1. And I'm so excited for this whole personal journey of yours. Yeah, I feel like it's going to be such a roller coaster ride, but like a really good roller coaster ride, not the one that makes you nauseous. So yeah, pile number 1. I'm going to leave it here. Thank you so much for watching this reading. I hope that it was interesting, or at the very least entertaining for you to watch. And if you are still here, then please leave me a little bird. I have been I have been looking at this little bird for for a long time during this whole reading. So please leave me a little bird emoji down in the comment section, so that I would know that you watched this thing all the way through, that you made it here, and that this gave you something useful. I love seeing you in the comment section and connecting with you there. So it would really, really mean so much to me. But as always, I hope to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, insight, and fun. And in the meantime, please take care of yourselves, and bye-bye. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 2. My name is Helen, and I want to say a quick thank you for choosing to spend your time with me and hang out. I hope that we're going to have a lot of fun. But let's get straight to the cards. So you chose this tarot landscapes, or landscape. No, tarot landscapes. Yeah, I keep messing up the name of this deck. But you chose this beautiful nature deck which we are going to take a look at in just a bit. And we also have some pre-prepared oracle cards, which we are going to take a look at those in just a bit too. Because first, as usual, I'm going to feel my way through this card that you chose and see what I am intuitively picking up on the energy. So, pile number 2. This card is making me feel that you are currently in this space of cleansing and rejuvenation. As I said that, I saw 111 on the camera. So yeah, it seems like you are doing this whole thing of getting rid of some gunk, some excess stuff. I just heard emotional baggage or something. So maybe some of you have recently gone to therapy or getting some counseling or just doing some emotional work, shadow work, something like that. But I don't know, that may be more of a specific message, but that was just coming through, so I'm putting it out there. But yeah, it feels like there is so much focus on getting your life more pure, more real, more emotionally fulfilling. There is all of this water on the card, and so it's making me feel that a lot of this energy that you are in and a lot of these things that you are doing right now are very much driven by some sort of emotional urge, an emotional push. Maybe you are even making some quite radical moves in your life because you are sick of something. And mainly the energy coming through here is one of wanting to get rid of stuff, wanting to like wash some things away. Maybe it's also about certain like grudges or pent up anger or wounds or things like that that maybe you have held on to for one reason or another, and now it just feels like you don't really want to do that anymore, or maybe it's just a bit too draining, too tiring, and kind of pointless, or you have reached this point where you feel that it's pointless, and so you just want to let it go. You want to ease up these burdens in you. But I also feel that it's not just this like personal internal process that you are going through. I also feel like you are cleansing out your life. You are trying to make it more sort of practical and reach these like wider areas in your overall life, and like not just your overall life, but like the arrangements that you have made in your life, the systems that you have in place, the frameworks, the contracts, the agreements, like all of these things that you are connected to, these relationships that you are connected to, or these people that you are connected to, these places that you are connected to, things that cause extra stress for you or extra worry for you, that cause extra responsibility. I almost feel like you want to get rid of stuff as much as possible. Like it's this whole energy of just wanting to liberate yourself, wanting to free yourself, wanting to breathe more easily, wanting to sleep more deeply, wanting to feel more calm and serene. And yeah, I feel like all of that is tied to getting rid of things that are stuck, that are stagnant, that are weighing heavy on you. Yeah, and I also just heard, this is definitely more of a specific message, but I feel like someone like cannot stop crying, or like there is something about feeling the need to cry a lot to get something out of you, to kind of cleanse yourself as well. So I don't know, pile number 2, for some reason that is what is coming through here, and I just felt this interesting feeling inside, how like, you know, you chose this nature deck, which I know you basically only saw like one card from the deck, but it doesn't feature any people. There are only like animals and nature and these landscapes. That's why it's called tarot landscapes. And also on this card, the majority of this image is clear. Like there isn't really that much going on. And so I do feel that you may be tired of, again, like things and stuff in general, but I also feel like people. So you may feel more called to sort of be by yourself for now, or be more like withdrawn, be somewhat more isolated. Yeah, because I feel like this whole cleansing thing is kind of taking it out of you anyway. And so you seem to be wanting to like take a break from, again, from people, from things that take up even more of your energy. I'm not sure how many of you resonate with this, but I definitely feel that someone here is taking a break from people and kind of keeping to themselves. But yeah, pile number 2, if that thing made sense to you, then it's a good indication already that this is your pile. But we're also going to take a look at these oracle cards and get a more clear and hopefully a more detailed overview of what your current situation is. And more specifically, this is going to say or talk about how you yourself would describe your current circumstances. So let's see. Okay, we have the edge of evolution feels messy. Wow. And I love that we're getting this spiral, like waves again. Okay, we also have mystery. We have an intuitive card. Moon. Okay, yeah, this feels very apt. And we also have you are epic. Okay, so let's start from the very beginning. We have the edge of evolution feels messy. And this just very clearly makes me think of you going through an evolution of sorts. You are changing, you are moving forward, you are wanting to break the norm and bring about some growth, bring about some forward momentum. And I am also adding this next card here because with this mystery, it definitely feels like you are digging deep. You are digging into it, and you are prepared to unveil certain things and discover certain things that you may not even realize are there. So this is confirmation that some of you are definitely doing some shadow work. Some of you are working through like your own unconscious or unconscious motivations or behavioral patterns or things like that, just to have more control of yourself and your life and your future. But maybe some of you, I don't know, this may even be more of a specific message, but with this next card, I just kind of thought, especially with the mystery card, that someone here may be digging into or like uncovering some childhood memories or childhood experiences that they actually don't have like a conscious recollection of, or that they have maybe suppressed or something. But yeah, it feels like you are really digging into things to get rid of any sort of internal blocks that may be holding you back, that may be hindering you. But again, as I said, this feels a very specific message. So I'm just going to leave it there. But yeah, more broadly, this seems to hint at you doing the work, you digging into your emotions. And for some reason, that feels like it's the biggest keyword here. Specifically dealing with your emotions and trying to get rid of certain feelings, certain stuck feelings. It may be also the reason why this moon card is here, because this to me just feels like it's strictly talking about, again, your emotional landscape. Maybe, again, some of these unconscious or subconscious patterns or traps or things like that you may be trying to uncover, that you may be trying to become aware of, so that you could, again, take charge, take more control, and change the direction of your life by making more conscious moves, more conscious choices, especially when it comes to the things that you attach yourself to, the things that you make commitments to, the things that you agree to invest yourself in. So again, it may be things, it may be places, it also may be people, right? But I'm actually loving these two cards because I feel a similar energy coming from these. With you are epic and this intuitive card, it feels like you are kind of giving yourself this little pep talk, like you are arming yourself with certain tactics and trying to bring about this courage in you to face whatever sort of comes up, because it is scary, and it can be really scary to dig into your shadows, to approach some of these wounds or some of these stagnant emotions that have all of this power over you that you maybe haven't dared look at in a really long time. And so yeah, it feels like you are doing all of this so that you could become the best version of yourself. So in essence, this feels like a project of self-love, pile number 2, if I can kind of sum it all up like that. But again, it's much more complex. It has so many sort of layers and threads to it. So hopefully that kind of comes through and makes sense. But pile number 2, yeah, that is the main energy that is coming through regarding what you are sort of currently dealing with, what the main situation you are in is, especially through your own lens, so to say. So if this resonates for you, and you really recognize yourself, then stay tuned, because we are now going to get to the most exciting thing with the tarot cards that you chose. We're going to look at the abundance that is coming into your life. So first and foremost, we are going to see what kind of abundance is about to come in, because there are all sorts of different kinds of abundance. We're not just talking about money here, or wealth, or fame, or anything like that. We are simply talking about abundance. Let's just see which kind of abundance is going to be coming in for you. Okay. Wow. Very interesting cards coming out, and you messed up the spread here. So we have Judgment in reverse, we have the 7 of Swords, and we have the Sun as the underlying energy. Okay, so pile number 2, you are getting some really interesting cards, and I had to kind of sit with those for a while, because I mean, you're getting 2 major arcana cards, so it's kind of profound. It means that you are definitely experiencing a bigger sort of life lesson or a bigger theme, and it's going to have these long-term effects into your future as well. So these are powerful cards, and you're getting Judgment and the Sun, so they're both really good cards, but it's just that they're coming out in reverse, and so I feel like they have a slight nuance to them. And yeah, that's why I said that it's really interesting, the cards that you are getting. So we have this Judgment in reverse with the 7 of Swords of all cards. And honestly, the 7 of Swords has somewhat of a bad reputation, but it isn't actually always talking about like lying or hiding or scheming or anything like that. The 7 of Swords can also talk about being strategic or thinking outside of the box. And I feel like that's exactly the case here, pile number 2, where the abundance that is coming in for you is like this spiritual broadening or opening up, I want to say, because the 7 of Swords is basically hinting at there being other ways that you may not see necessarily right now, or that you maybe haven't thought of about how you can go about this whole thing. And with the Judgment coming out in reverse, it feels like it's again tied to sort of digging into the past, digging into some deeper layers that have maybe held you back from moving on or living the sort of life that you want to live, and really trusting yourself, or really being who you want to be, or daring to follow a certain form of authenticity. Because this Judgment in reverse is saying that there is a kind of elevation that you are going through, but it may be somewhat like delayed, or there may be something that is like slowing you down. if that makes sense. So this whole process that you were in, this like shadow work or soul searching or getting rid of these stuck emotions, basically Judgment in reverse can also talk about reflection and just kind of looking back on the past. But yeah, again, maybe getting a bit like too deeply sucked into it. So it can be somewhat overwhelming. But again, with the Seven of Swords, I feel like the abundance is coming in the form of opening up your eyes to other ways, to some other options, and it may actually get you there quicker or more smoothly. Because the Sun in reverse, as the underlying energy, is hinting at maybe being somewhat cut off from joy or having a good time or really enjoying yourself and enjoying life. And I feel like Spirit really wants you to get like back in touch with that joy more quickly, or to illuminate something for you more quickly. And it's interesting that beneath the Sun, we actually have the Hermit coming out, which is exactly the energy that we were talking about before, or that was coming through before, where I was feeling this more isolated, more separated energy. And so, yeah, this just feels like a confirmation for someone, definitely. So yeah, I feel like you are going to see a new way how to like rediscover joy in your life, which is exciting. But let's also take a look at how is this abundance going to manifest more specifically in your life. Let's see if we can get some details about this. Okay. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay. You are getting the moon again. So you officially have 2 moon cards out, which definitely feels like it's talking about the moon being a really important symbol in general for you right now. You may really feel an affinity towards the moon, but it may also just kind of give a confirmation of this being a really emotional sort of time for you, and you're really working through some huge emotions. But getting back to the actual question. So we have the 10 of Pentacles, the moon, and the 8 of Swords is coming through as the underlying energy. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the 10 of Pentacles because I feel like one of the ways in which this abundance is going to manifest more specifically for you is through your support system. The 10 of Pentacles very often talks about family, your background, your lineage, your heritage. And so there may be really good insight or really good advice or really good support that is actually around you, or where you may even get some of these new ideas or fresh perspectives on, again, like how to work through what you are feeling more efficiently or more effectively, more quickly, how to, again, find more joy as you are working through these things, so that like this whole element of actually enjoying life wouldn't be put on hold. And that may come through, again, your support system, so to say, or even if it's not your family, it may be through whomever is the most sort of reliable people in your life, or whatever you consider to be your foundation. So this feels like you could actually get some really good insight from other people, as much as I realize that you may not really feel up to it right now, or you may feel like people are draining for you and they are tiring you. I completely understand that, but yeah, some people, again, only you know who those people are that actually, you know, provide you with love and patience and support. They may really be able to help you here. Also, we have the moon card, and so it may be that some of these ideas come to you through some sort of weird inspiration. They may come from completely unexpected sources, but the moon is also tied to our dreams. And so maybe there are certain messages, certain inspirations that you get through your dreams. And so trying to keep track of your dreams, trying to pay attention to the symbolism, especially because, again, it feels like the moon is such a strong symbol for you, such a strong signal that that you should really follow. Maybe even keeping track of the moon's cycles and the new moon and full moon, and like you may notice certain periods that are tied to the moon's cycles that you can really utilize to your benefit. Because with the Eight of Swords, which is the underlying energy, and again, funnily enough, we also have the Devil behind that card. So I'm kind of showing you both of these cards because they feel sort of similar. The Eight of Swords, first and foremost, is really hinting at some sort of a stuck perception, or maybe a bit too limited kind of perception, where actually there are so many more opportunities available to you. And the Devil is again hinting at shadowy energy and maybe being too kind of stuck on something very specific, or feeling somewhat like powerless, when in fact you actually have so many more resources than you realize. Pile number 2, let's also take a look at how you can invite this abundance into your life more easily. Okay, so we have the Ace of Pentacles, which is coming out in reverse. We also have Strength, and the underlying energy is the Five of Pentacles. Okay, so I feel like the message is starting to kind of almost like repeat. So I'm going to try and breeze over this part. But we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse and Strength. And I feel that there is a message here of being mindful of trying to brave this whole thing on your own, especially because I feel like a lot of these emotions and a lot of these feelings, a lot of these things that you feel that you want to get rid of are tied to other people too. So it almost feels like it's hinting at you not being able to shoulder the sole responsibility or do the whole work by yourself. And the Ace of Pentacles specifically may be hinting at some sort of a fixation, or like holding on to one very specific sort of thing. Yeah, Strength is basically saying that you might have an easier time inviting this abundance into your life if you tapped into this inner resilience, this inner courage to actually ask for help, I feel like. And the reason why I feel that it's specifically tied to, again, like reaching out or including someone else, is because of this Five of Pentacles being the underlying energy, which is again suggesting that help is actually available to you, but you may not necessarily be utilizing it. Or again, you may be trying to do this whole thing on your own and kind of shut other people out. But yeah, I feel like if you were to open up more in that sense, and just sort of entertain the idea that maybe there is something valuable to get, some sort of valuable input to get from other people too. And maybe even, I don't know whether this is more of a specific message or not, but maybe even playing around with the idea that you don't have to be completely fixed, or you don't have to be this fully cleansed and purified and like healed version of you in order to be worthy of having fun, in order to be worthy of enjoying life and having these meaningful relationships and things like that. You can have those now too. You don't have to, again, you don't have to put all of these positive, life-affirming, joy-bringing things on hold because you are working through this thing. And I feel like there is so much value in other people being able to be a part of that journey. Again, of course, it's up to your discretion. It's up to, I don't know whether discretion is the right word, but it's up to your decision who you want to include specifically. But I feel like there is definitely more to add to the situation that you are in right now. And yeah, I just feel like it doesn't actually have to be this kind of difficult. Just food for thought, pile number 2. Again, I have to admit, I don't know what it is. I seriously don't know what is going on, whether it's some sort of bigger like collective energy right now, that it just feels like all of these more deep and emotionally loaded sort of energies keep coming through. Even if I have the intention to make these like really fun and lighthearted and positive only sort of readings, it feels like something else is much more prevalent that just wants to come through. So hopefully, again, I'm hoping that this reading is actually useful for someone. But anyway, let's keep this going. We are getting to the next really fun part, actually, because this is going to be looking at the timing. And again, to give you a quick little disclaimer, whenever we are looking at time or timing specifically, please keep in mind that time is fluid and that it is a very, very fickle sort of thing, or fickle thing. So it's not easy to get accurate. And so it's just something for us to get a glimpse at, to see if we can get some sort of an estimation as to when this abundance could be arriving into your life. Maybe this part is going to resonate for someone here. Maybe it's not going to resonate for anyone. Who knows? But it's just something fun that I like to do every now and again. So let's see what we can get. And please, again, don't get too attached to whatever comes through from these cards, okay? So let's see. Oh, wow. Okay, you are kind of getting 2 cards here, so I'm just using the other one as the underlying energy. We have Aries time and March. So depending on when you are watching this is very, very soon. If you're watching this during the time that I'm actually posting this Aries time frame, or this Aries season time, is very, very soon. So again, just to clarify, this like opening up or seeing new opportunities, seeing a new way of approaching this, that may come about for you during Aries season or during March. But this card says Aries time, March 21st to April 19th. Go after what you want. Energetic, passionate, bold. Yeah, there is definitely a huge focus on bringing more energy, bringing more fire and passion into this thing, because this whole energy is really watery, and it is so easy to get swallowed up in it, and for the waves to kind of start, becoming a bit too overwhelming. And so I feel like this passion and this fire, again, this sun energy, right? This optimism, this joy, that could really help to, again, add something extra, add something more enjoyable to the process. And just to clarify, this process that you are going through, it feels really important, it feels significant, right? We had all of these major arcana cards, so clearly it's significant and clearly it's necessary. But yeah, there is just something a little like maybe extreme about it. I don't know, maybe some of you are even actually like punishing yourselves a bit. But I don't know, that feels like it's, again, maybe more of a specific message. So, take it as you will. And yeah, it doesn't actually have to be that way. So at the bottom of the deck, we have March. Come out of hibernation and embrace new energy, growth, awakening, and rebirth. Oh my goodness, I'm loving the synchronicities here. Yeah, come out of hibernation and embrace new energy. So March may very well be the time where you suddenly feel the urge or the yearning to maybe, again, reach out to someone, or include more people, include more fun, include more lighthearted energy, and just another way to go about this process, maybe. Or yeah, just coming out on the other side of this shadow work, soul searching sort of energy in general. But let's keep going. Let's close the reading out with an oracle card from one of my absolute favorite oracle card decks recently. We are going to get one last closing message, something for you to focus on and sort of take away from this reading. So let's see what Spirit wants you to focus on regarding this spread. Okay, wow. Okay, wow. I'm just kind of flabbergasted by the synchronicities. I'm first going to show you the underlying energy because this is one of the cards that massively took me by surprise. We have the card that says family, parenting, and children. And so I'm being drawn back to this 10 of Pentacles because I feel like for a lot of you, this whole work that you are doing, there is a strong element of your familial relations in there, or maybe just certain beliefs and notions about family, and maybe again working through your own childhood stuff as well. But yeah, this definitely feels like it's a potent sort of area, and it just seems to be confirming again that there is a clear connection to your family, to your like ancestors or your lineage, or just your familial relationships. But the card that you actually got, which again is so crazy that we actually got the shadow work card, it says triggers. What is making you feel uncomfortable? What is causing the negative reactions within you or from you? What needs to be resolved? So yeah, Spirit is clearly emphasizing the need to focus on your triggers and the things that do trigger you, or the things that make you feel uncomfortable or make you experience some sort of negative feelings. So clearly, yeah, this, as I already said, this whole shadow work thing that you are doing is so necessary. But yeah, I don't know. It just feels like you're... Again, especially I want to bring out your family or your support system. I feel like they have so much to add to this process. Anyway, I'm going to leave it here because I feel like I'm going to just keep going on and on and on like a broken record. But pile number 2, wow, I truly hope that this reading made sense to someone, and that someone here found value from this reading. If you did, if you are still here, by the way, leave me a little dinosaur emoji. I hope that there is an emoji for a dinosaur. I really hope that there is. Thank you so much for hanging in there, for spending this time with me. Again, I did not expect this reading to take the turn that it did, but hopefully, again, I'm just hoping that the message that was coming through was necessary for someone. And if you are that someone, then I would really appreciate it if you let me know in the comments, because it always means so much to me to hear that you resonated or that you found something useful from my reading. So I love connecting with you in the comment section, but I also hope to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, insight, and fun. And in the meantime, please take care of yourselves and be good. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 3. My name is Helen, and I first want to say a quick thank you for choosing to spend your time with me. And yeah, let's get straight to it, because that's why you're here, right? So you chose this card as well as the Cosmic Cycles Tarot. We are going to take a look at the tarot deck a bit later, and also we have some pre-prepared oracle cards, but first, we have to take a look at the card that you chose, and I'm going to feel my way through it intuitively, see what is coming through, and based on it, you should already get an inkling whether this is your pile or not. But pile number 3, this feels very hopeful and expansive. It's definitely having a very strong energy of new beginnings and fresh new initiations, things sort of taking off or starting to progress, maybe new ideas being born, or some sort of new endeavors, new sources of inspiration, new things that you are wanting to launch or call into your life. It almost feels like you are so ready to welcome something in. And I feel like it's the result of you having done a bit of a purge, which is so interesting because we just finished pile number 2's reading. And yeah, it's kind of interesting that I'm not going to say too much about pile number 2's reading in case you also felt drawn towards that pile and you want to check that out too. But this feels like the next step, or this feels like like moving on from that energy, and because it feels like you have actually vacated a lot of space in your life, you are now ready to start filling that space again with new things, with new energy, with new life. And yeah, it just feels like you are full of energy, you are full of motivation, you are full of willpower. And I also feel like you're ready to actually like get into it. I'm looking at the background here with all of the waves and even like the mountains on the far side. And even though this thing is only the beginning, you are only like planting seeds or laying the groundwork or something like that, right? It's just the beginning stages that you are operating in right now. But I feel like you are so ready to go the distance, or really like put some true effort and work into something, and you are ready to face the challenges as well that may arise. Because yeah, it definitely feels like you already know that this thing that you are wanting to call in, that it's going to test you. It's going to test your patience. It's going to test your resilience. It's going to test your compassion, your understanding, your creativity. All of those things, even test your boundaries, I want to say. But you feel so up to the task. And I feel like you know that you are going to be able to get over those things and keep pushing ahead. So whatever this thing is that you're ready to call into being, to welcome into your life, which I have to say, it feels like it's this like one bigger sort of thing, one more grand idea or this bigger concept, rather than like these like little minute things that you want to change in your life. It just feels like it's more of this like a bigger milestone or a bigger sort of chapter that you're willing to take on. And so it feels like you are willing to keep going at it. You're willing to face whatever challenges you may be coming up against in order to take this thing further, like into the future, and really like see it grow and see it develop as far as it can. But yeah, that's what is coming through from the card pile number 3. So if you don't recognize yourself at all, then you may want to check out the other piles. But if you did recognize even something minor about what you are currently experiencing, then definitely stay tuned for these oracle cards too, because these are going to describe the current situation that you are in. And more specifically, these are going to tell us what kind of circumstances are you currently in through your own personal lens. So how you yourself would describe where you are currently at. So let's see. Oh my goodness, we have changes. This is funny. We have multiverse. Oh, cool card. Okay, we have an intuitive card. We also have reflection and lead your metamorphosis. Wow. So pile number 3, lots of confirmation from these cards. So let's get straight to it. I'm actually going to put these 2 cards together because they are so similar in energy. We have changes and lead your metamorphosis. So clearly the energy that you find yourself in right now, especially according to how you yourself would describe it, you seem to be in this process of being willing to truly bring about some like groundbreaking new energy. You are so ready, especially because the word says lead. So it feels like you are the one steering the ship here. It's not that you are this candle in the wind just blowing wherever the wind takes you. You are actually in charge. You are actually wanting to steer the boat, so to say. Now, I also feel that with the multiverse and reflection cards, you are actually in this process of serious visualization. And with the multiverse, it feels like you are almost imagining all of these different scenarios of how your life could be, or how this thing could end up manifesting, what it could end up looking like, what it could turn into, like what else is possible, and really opening up to, all of these different ways in which this thing could grow and expand. And I feel with this reflection card, it's just confirming this aspect of how much thought you have actually put into this, how much preparation you have gone through, how you are truly ready to face this challenge because of how much you have accumulated awareness and experience and knowledge and valuable lessons and insight and humility. And I feel like there's just so much that is tied into what has made you arrive at this point now, where you do feel so ready, where you do feel so capable. And I'm just loving this card so much, because this is giving me the vibe of like you living your best life, or you literally calling into being this this new and improved version of yourself. And it's so full of confidence and self-belief, and just like knowing that you're the bomb, that I'm really loving it, because again, it just feels this whole energy, like from the get-go, it feels like you are so sure of yourself. You know what you are doing, you know what you are signing up for, and you are so ready to take everything on. So I love this. And I feel like, the pile number 3, this was the quickest overview by far out of all of the piles, because it just feels so like, so clear and so sure and just so concentrated. So I'm absolutely loving this energy for you. But if you resonate with this, if that is the sort of energy that you find yourself in right now, then definitely stay tuned, because now we actually get to dive into the tarot cards and take a look at the abundance that is arriving into your life. First, we are going to see what kind of abundance is going to be coming into your life, because as we all know, there are so many different kinds of abundance that exists. It's not just wealth or monetary, right? It's not tied to personal financial assets. There are so many ways in which we can be abundant. And so let's see what kind is coming in for you. Oh, wow. Okay. So we have the Emperor coming out in reverse, Page of Swords, and the Fool being the underlying energy. I love this. So this is so interesting how, pretty much in every single pile, the type of abundance coming in, again, has been very surprising. And for you as well, pile number 3, I feel like the abundance that is coming in is some form of opportunity. We have the Emperor in reverse and the Page of Swords. And with the Emperor in reverse, I feel like there is some kind of a restriction or rule or law that is going to be like either removed, or that there is going to be some way for you to go around it, or that you are not going to be boxed in or limited by some sort of restriction anymore. And the Page of Swords is basically hinting at some form of new idea, or again, maybe there is a new opportunity, maybe there is even a piece of news that allows you to go around certain restrictions or certain limitations that maybe would have potentially boxed you in somewhat, or that would have slowed this process down, or that you maybe had to take into consideration, because the Emperor is very, very heavily tied to rules, regulations, norms, things that we have to abide by. There are all of these structures that have to be followed. But when it's coming out in reverse, I feel like it's almost like those are crumbling down, or that there is some way through these obstacles, or especially when it's tied to like red tape. I feel like you can almost like, not necessarily, I don't want to say bypass it, but like kinda, you know, like you don't have to jump through the hoops, or it's not going to be as difficult and as painstakingly specific, and it's not going to be all of these like tiny little steps and all of these correct ways that you have to go about it. There seems to be like almost this like shortcut, or some form of new illuminating information that arrives for you, that gives you this whole new perspective, that makes it much more easy for you to proceed. And it almost feels like it's going to clear the path ahead. So with the Fool being the underlying energy, it's like you can actually just get started. You can actually dive into this thing, and there are no obstacles, there are no delaying issues for you to deal with. So it's like the path has been cleared, which is yeah, so beautiful. But let's take a look and see if we can get more details about this abundance. So how is this abundance manifesting in your life more specifically? Okay, interesting. Again, we're getting so many major arcana. We have the High Priestess, the Ace of Swords, and the Hanged Man as the underlying energy. Okay, yeah, the High Priestess and the Ace of Swords are hinting at some form of secret information, or some form of information that may not be that easy to get. It may even be something that is off limits to a lot of people, but it almost feels like you are going to have some sort of like inside information, or I almost want to say like a tip, like some sort of an expert tip that gives you this clarity, that gives you this piece of valuable information that allows you to move forward. Because the Ace of Swords is very clearly truth. It's clear information. It's something that you can utilize to move ahead with focus and determination and clarity. And you definitely are going to get some form of valuable knowledge from most likely a very mysterious source, or it's almost something that you would never have expected, or you would never have guessed that someone is going to share with you. Or it may even be, if it's not necessarily someone specific giving you this information, it may just be that you kind of stumble upon it yourself. But again, the High Priestess is definitely hinting at this being somewhat of a restricted piece of knowledge. Or again, it's like it's not easy to access. Not everyone has this information available to them. But in any case, with the Hanged Man being the underlying energy, you are given a whole new perspective on this thing. You are able to see, because of this information, that you are either stumbling upon yourself, or more likely, because I don't know, I just feel more strongly with the Page of Swords and the Ace of Swords that this message is going to be coming from someone outside of you. Because of this information, you are going to be given this whole new vantage point. And because you can see things much more clearly, you can see the big picture, you are able to, again, I feel like approach this thing in a whole new way. Because as they say, knowledge is power. and it definitely seems like you are getting some really valuable knowledge here, pile number 3. Okay, but let's also see how you can invite or welcome this abundance into your life more easily. Okay, interesting. So you are getting more cards, but we are taking them. We have the 4 of Wands in reverse. We have the Page of Pentacles and the 8 of Swords, with the Knight of Pentacles being the underlying energy. Okay, so the first thing I want to say is be mindful of how many people you let in on this information that is being shared with you, because I feel like there is something quite I don't know, private about it, or it's something that maybe shouldn't be very freely shared, because again, with the High Priestess, it just feels like it's not public knowledge, or it's not something that everyone should know or should be privy to. So that's the first thing. But I do also feel, especially, or not especially necessarily, but the 4 of Wands in reverse, the first card out, is hinting at maybe needing to reconsider certain foundational beliefs. And what I mean by that is that there may be something that is actually more of an internal block rather than an actual external one. And the reason why I feel that that's the case with the 4 of Wands, it just feels like it's something, again, something foundational, something that you maybe have grown up with, or something that has been embedded in you or programmed in you when you were growing up. But the Page of Pentacles and the 8 of Swords is hinting at possibly needing to figure out or learn some ways to overcome some of the, again, internal hindrances or internal blockages that you may be having, because the 8 of Swords is hinting at, again, I feel like actually the road is clear. There is nothing standing in your way, and you can pretty much like go ahead and get started. But the 8 of Swords is saying that there may be certain hindrances that you yourself feel, or there may be certain things where you believe that you are held back in some way, or that there is something that is hindering you from moving forward, from getting started, from launching things the way that you want to launch them. So even though it feels like in spirit you are ready, you have this motivation, you have this drive, this passion, this self-belief and all of that, but there may be certain like mental constructs that kind of like cage you in, or where you may feel that you are going to have some trouble, where you are going to have some issues potentially. But again, it feels like those may be something that are not actually true, or that are very easily overcome. And so yeah, the Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles, being the underlying energy, are hinting at having this methodical and practical approach, and staying true to your vision, staying true to your goal, going about it one step at a time. And I feel like as you do that, again, it's most likely that you are going to prove to yourself that whatever these constructs are in your mind that are making you feel like you are somehow caged in, or that you are somehow not equipped to deal with everything as efficiently as you would maybe like to, or that there may be certain other hiccups for you that, again, it may not actually be the case. Whatever the mental constructs are, you can actually like work through them and overcome them by doing the work, by taking action, right? Because we're talking about the Pentacle realm, which is very much the physical realm, taking practical steps. Of course, these are small steps, right? It's not saying that you have to like go ahead and get started like in a full-blown diving in head first sort of way, but just taking little tiny steps, little practical steps. And as you do that, I feel like you are already going to prove to yourself that you are so capable, and that you really don't have anything to worry about. But we are also going to take a look at one of the more fun aspects of the reading, at least in the sense that this part is not meant to be taken too seriously. This is just for fun. We are going to take a look at the potential timing of this whole abundance coming into your life, so that we could get some sort of an estimation as to when this may materialize. Now, because timing is fluid, and timing changes all the time, and it's really difficult to get accurate. Most likely this part isn't going to resonate for a lot of you, but just for fun, and don't get too attached to this next part and take it with a grain of salt, but just for fun, let's see what is the approximate time frame for when this abundance, this valuable piece of information, may come into your life. Ooh. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. So we have very soon. I'm going to read the underlying energy too. We have distraction. This may not be aligned with your highest good. Tempting, deceptive secrets. Okay, so it's kind of interesting because we are getting the keyword secrets. And that was definitely something that was coming through from the High Priestess as well. Again, take these cards with a grain of salt, okay? They are simply just for fun. So at the end of the day, it's simply talking about information, right? That you are shared, or that is being shared with you. And so ultimately, it is up to you whether you want to take it on board, whether you want to utilize it or not. But yeah, let's take a look. So we have very soon. Things are happening fast, so be ready to move. Speed, agility, and quickness. So yeah, this, again, just for fun, this is hinting at this piece of information coming in for you very soon. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's anything else to add to that. So let's also close the reading out with a last oracle card message. This is going to be a closing message, something for you to focus on so that you could take away from this reading something more sort of tangible. I hope that you are not sick of these cards yet, especially if you have been watching my the last videos that I have been doing. I have been loving this oracle card deck, and I don't see myself ending or stopping anytime soon. So anyway, let's see what sort of focal point Spirit has for you. Okay. So, oh wow, we have so many cards coming out. But I guess we'll take on all of them because, why not? Why not? So the first card out, oh, actually, sorry, before we get to the first card out, I just want to show you the underlying energy again, because I have shown the underlying energies in every single pile. We have ancestry, generations, and DNA. So yeah, I feel like this is tied to the Four of Wands energy that was coming through before. And yeah, I don't know. There may be something in the sort of the past, again, the past energies, the energies that you grew up with that are somehow tied to, again, some of these beliefs or some of these things that may be like potentially slowing you down, or that may be causing this self-doubt or feeling like you are limited somehow. Anyway, you got the card manifest. So what Spirit wants you to focus on: manifesting, to create, to bring into existence, to make into reality. Yeah, see, this feels like it's just encouragement to actually believe in this dream of yours, to believe that you can make it happen, that you can bring it about. So focus on manifesting that dream. We also have practice, to put into action, to apply a concept in a practical way, to hone a skill, to develop a habit, to exercise. This is very much making me think back to this whole Pentacle energy, the Page of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles. both of which were talking about taking these little steps, right? Putting things into practice, taking physical action, and going about it in a practical way, taking these practical steps. I love that word actually came out. So yeah, just practicing this thing, and again, proving to yourself that you can do this. We also have purge, to destroy, to cleanse, to renew, to eradicate, and transform. Again, I feel like this is talking about this whole belief that may be embedded in you somehow. So focusing on getting rid of that, getting rid of anything that causes doubt in you. And I actually want to say, I don't know why, but this whole distraction card, because it really isn't making sense in the realm of the other messages here, this distraction energy could very well be talking about the self-doubt, or the foundational belief that is not actually aligned, that was coming through with the Four of Wands. So that may be something that is talking about this deceptive energy as well, that, you know, it's just a distraction. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there, because that's the one message that is kind of bugging me, because it doesn't make sense. But the last card that you got is support, to help, to aid, to assist, to encourage, to hold space. Yeah, I feel like this card is encouraging you to focus on support that exists around you, and just ways in which you can support yourself on this journey. Again, potentially keeping yourself away from any negative influences, any people, you know, dampening your spirit, or instilling, is that a word? Instilling like doubt in you, or making you question whether you are capable of doing it. Maybe that's also the reason why this whole message of being mindful of how much you spread this thing that you are doing with people. Maybe that's also the reason why some of these cards are coming out. But yeah, I feel like there may be certain hindrances or certain blocks and challenges coming from just other people's input as well, and other people's doubts. So again, just making sure that you are focused on supporting yourself and finding support around you to encourage you, to uplift you, to you know, boost you with confidence and all of that good stuff. I feel like that would be really, really beneficial. But yeah, pile number 3. Wow. I was hoping that I was going to be able to make this a more quick reading, but again, you know, here we are. So I guess that's just the way that these things are now. But pile number 3, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for being here. If you are still here, by the way, and if you found some meaning from these messages, if they resonated with you, please let me know that you are still here by leaving me a little kite. Is there a kite? I hope there is a kite emoji. Leave me a kite emoji down in the comment section so that I would know that you are still here, that you made it all the way through from these messages, and that you found something meaningful from them, or that you at the very least found these messages entertaining to watch. I would love to see you in the comment section and connect with you there. But as always, I hope to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, insight, and fun. And in the meantime, please take care of yourselves and be good. Bye-bye.